While we wait for Discord to start, because apparently we're changing music, we're going to start recording. I hope you guys are excited. Today's going to be a short 5-chapter stream. We're only going to stream for like about an hour and a half, because today we were going to go out to the theaters just to kind of relax, chill out a little bit. But I wasn't able to stream yesterday because of, we did the episode 11 react. So that's going to be up and ready by the time the episode drops. That being said, today we'll be reading chapter 1082 through, what, 80, I can't do math, 80, 86, 80, 87, about 5 chapters. Let's see how far we get. All right, let's go. Power magic. All right, chapter 1082. So we're doing music change at Bishop Electra. He finished volume 6. Man, somebody tell him to take a break. Don't worry. On the bright side, tomorrow's going to be a long stream. Saturday is going to be a long stream, and I think Sunday is also going to be a long stream. And the mornings. So, like, around this time, we'll be ending stream, but we'll be streaming, like, we'll be streaming a lot earlier before that happens. But chapter 1082 is called Sudden Turn of Events. 160 Backlund Street inside Dwayne Thompson's mansion. After teleporting back, Klein didn't delay at all. He immediately set up an altar and held a ritual to pray to death. You are the essence of death. You are the Lord of the Dead. You are the final home to all living beings. That is such a crazy-ass honorific. I pray for your help. I pray that you will know how to resolve the problem with the Red Angel Evil Spirit. He has possessed the body of a gatekeeper and is cooperating with the numinous Episcopate. High Priest Hater. He has come to Backlund and has been made the assistant of Patrick Bryan. With regard to this matter, there was already no choice but to seek the help of the Evernight Goddess, ignoring the possibility of seeking out the ascetic leader Ariana in a cooperation effort, or whatever. He had the ability to go finish off Sauron, Einhorn, Medici. Even if he could, once the Red Angel Evil Spirit disappeared, the numinous Episcopate's artificial death faction High Priest would immediately understand that something major had happened here. He could then connect it to the other abnormalities and determine that there would be something wrong with the artificial death condition. Wait, then he can determine that something's wrong? Okay. Then, using his own level and status, possible sealed artifacts, and his familiarity with the pathway, he might be able to create mutually harmful acts of destruction. After he ignored the Red Angel, this evil spirit was a conspirer. Wouldn't take long to detect something abnormal about Patrick Bryan. With his knowledge and intelligence, it wasn't difficult to guess the nature of the problem. No matter how I deal with it, it's a problem. It'll be a problem, as expected of an angel in the war domain. Even if he is a 3-in-1 spirit body, he can still create unresolvable problems for others. This must have actually been an idea that he gave Hater. Actually, I do have an extreme idea. This is to let the Red Angel Evil Spirit be killed by other churches, official organizations, or secret organizations. For another whole different matter, in short, anything related to the goddess cannot come center stage. Things must be clear. Things must be very clear. Oh, yeah, the race is going to come to a close very soon. We're going to catch up. Trust, we're going to catch up a lot Saturday and Sunday. Mark my words. The difficulty with the approach is how to let an extremely experienced, higher-ranking member of the conspiring domain fall into a trap. If I don't handle it well, it might backfire on me. After the prayer ended, Klein casually let his thoughts wander as he thought patiently for the Evernight Goddess to give him a response. After more than 10 seconds, the herbal dregs that pleased the deity were swept up by an invisible wind. They flew out of the landed on the table, forming words, "His coming spell that raises of arms." What does that mean? Looking at the sentence that gave him a sense of deja vu, he frowned silently. As a seer, he habitually interpreted it. Due to the king's problems, Lowen had fallen into the shadows of war. The shadows of war? Oh, man, this is gonna be crazy, dude. Check my last message. Huh? Yes? ... What do you mean, ... As a seer, he habitually interpreted it. Due to the king's problem, no one has fallen into the shadows of war, hence the red angel that symbolizes war came. This means that it might no longer be possible to stop the war. Upon reaching sequence 1, one would become a symbol of certain phenomena. As these thoughts flashed through Klein's mind, the invisible wind came to a stop. The altar, which was completely isolated by the wall of spirituality, turned extremely silent. There are no other revelations. After waiting for a while, Klein confirmed that this was all, so he entered the ritual and cleared the altar. He then walked to the sofa in the room and sat down to see if anything else would happen. After a full 15 minutes, he didn't usher in the arrival of the matron of the Evernight Cloister, the leader of the 13 archbishops, the angel of concealment, Ariana. I don't have to deal with the Red Angel Evil Spirit, and I shouldn't just leave him be. Or there's another solution, be the involvement but my involvement isn't needed. In essence, he wasn't a devout believer of Evernight. Since the goddess said that he didn't need to bother about it, he naturally couldn't be bothered to do so. After all, this matter was not only extremely troublesome for him, but it would also be extremely dangerous. Shaking his head, Klein took out a pen and paper from his pocket and began a dream divination. What happened tonight made him feel that he couldn't waste any time. We can't waste any time either. We only got an hour and a half. He had to digest the bizarre sorcerer potion as soon as possible. Above the gray fog, inside a steam-powered merchant ship that was extremely close to a pirate ship, one by one, the men and the older woman were tied up and pushed to the edge of the deck. Then the pirates either used their hands to legs or throw them into the sea. The splashing sounds didn't affect the pirates at all. Guffawing? Guffawing? I've never... My message mentioning you, damn it. Check my last message. Oh, I saw that! Oh, you were joking? Oh, thank God. Alright, so he did finish Volume 6. Oh. Woo! Alright, good. The splashing sounds... Alright, now I feel a lot better. Praise love? Praise be the Almighty's. The splashing sounds didn't affect the pirates at all, guffling over the bloodless massacre. After clearing the captives, they carried their guns and lanterns to the shipboards, preparing to enjoy the pitiful bug struggling. However, under the light, the dark blue sea beside the boat, quietly undiluted, no one was there. They sank so quickly, a pirate blurted on surprise. The leader of this pirate crew frowned. After looking at it for a while, he said, "Perhaps some sea monsters passed by and treated those who dared resist us for food and bestowed by the gods. Perfect timing. If we feed it, it won't attack us." Upon saying this, the leader waved his hand. Everyone else enjoyed. The bone truck driver, the creator of all clips, the archiver of all promises, the great Illuvian. Yo, love, you got your own honorific. You know what? I think that was a better honorific than mine. That was a pretty badass one, Milosh. As a fairly experienced pirate, he knew that there were many strange things at sea. It was best not to seek out the reason and tried to figure out the truth. Since it didn't harm him or his crew, he would thank the Lords of Storms for his blessings, doing so as though nothing had happened. After making sure that there were people on duty, the pirates began gulping down copious amounts of alcohol, ate huge chunks of meat, and sang it loudly and founded the rights of the young female captives. And the noisy and lively atmosphere, the pirate leader led a beautiful passenger he had long taken a liking to into the captain's room. Ooh. He eagerly began the final process for that night of revelry. Oh, wow, this got spicy. Ooh, that's not good. Or good. In the middle of the night, the tired pirate leader stretched out his right hands and touched something cold. He jolted awake through the crimson moonlight shining through the window. He saw a piece of coarse wood in his arms. A series of branches with green leaves grew out from the wooden block, hugging him like a human's limb. Pa! The pirate leader's pupils rapidly diluted as he pushed away the wood, jumped off the bed, and stumbled back. Was I with such a thing previously? His mind was filled with terror. He couldn't care less about his clothes, picking up a flintlock and the cutlass before leaving the room immediately. Outside, there was a pirate on duty. How can I be happy to steal your ear? How can I be happy to steal your ear? What the... Okay, when the pirate saw his leader open the door, he quickly asked. The pirate leader had originally wanted to chide the other party for secretly drinking, resulting in his incoherence. However, when he looked up, he saw that the subordinate's mouth and his surroundings were filled with golden grains. Even the surface of his tongue was covered in dense clusters. The pirate leader's scalp tightened as he felt a numbing chill run down his spine. At this moment, the door across the corridor opened as well. A pirate shouted with a sobbing tone, "Oh no, boss, I have a lot of mushrooms growing there." We have way too many mushrooms. Oh, man. As he spoke, the pirate ran out. At the same time, he felt his eyes itch. He raised his hand and rubbed his right eye. As he rubbed his eyes, a green vine... Oh, fuck you. That's so gross. As he rubbed his eyes, a green vine slowly grew out from the gaps between his eye socket and his eyeball. There was a dark red grape at the end of it. The flesh around the grape was a blur. Oh, that's so fucking gross, dude. The pirate leader's body froze when he saw this. He asked in a voice that didn't belong to him, "What did you guys encounter?" While rubbing his eyes, the pirates who didn't notice the problem said without any recollection, "A pole-like shadow struck me." You. The pirate whose tongue was covered in golden wheat echoed. He was blocked by the leader and didn't see his fellow crew members' terrifying appearance. The pirate leader's legs began to shake uncontrollably. He instinctively turned around and ran out of the cabin. At this moment, he saw a long wall that looked like a shadow from a pole rapidly sweeping towards him before lashing out at him. The shadow flashed, and as soon as it disappeared, it was as though it was a surreal nightmare. The pirate leader was just about to beat slower before he subconsciously raised his hand to block it. This was obviously not effective. Then he looked at him in panic and didn't find anything unusual. Thankfully, the pirate leader couldn't help but let out a sigh. Before he could finish, he suddenly heard a slightly muffled voice. Thankfully. Help me, they put me in prison on no charges. How long is the sentence unhinged? Thankfully, the pirate leader couldn't help but let out a sigh. Before he could finish, he suddenly heard a slightly muffled voice. Thankfully. This voice seemed to come from his body. The pirate leader's pupils dilated to extreme as he involuntarily lifted his clothes. He then saw 3 cracks appear between his chest, one big, 2 small. 2 rows of white teeth were neatly arranged in large cracks, as in the middle of the small crack were 2 lively and nimble eyeballs embedded in them. It was a mouth and 2 eyes. The pirate leader had a mouth and 2 eyes on his chest. No. Oh, shit. A new vessel. A scream rang out of the boat, filled with indescribable terror. In the next 15 minutes, some of the pirates were mad and killed... Oh, they went mad and killed their companions. Some successfully escaped back to their own ship, only to discover that the people on it had also turned mutated. Hence, they jumped into the sea in despair. But by the time everything calmed down, there were only about 10 normal pirates slumped on the deck of hiding in the rooms. There was a stretch around them. After a while, passengers came out of the cabin, one after another. They looked at the scene in front of their disbelief. They either thanked the gods or stood there in a daze. Oh, shit. Wait, when do I change the music? Have we not? We haven't read the bishop part yet. Unless it happens right here at the very end. It was early in the morning. Klein got out of bed and began to wash up. Just as he was changing his clothes with the help of his valet, Uni, he saw Butler Walter, who had just returned from a leave of absence, walk to the door and say, Sir... Oh, okay, music change. Sir Bishop Electra is here to pay you a visit. What is this music? This is a little exciting. Okay. What is this, dude? What kind of track is this? Oh, all right. Let me fix this. All right, here we go. All right, Sir Bishop Electra is here to pay you a visit. The lore is that it was funny. All right. Well, I need full context though. Let me hear both sides. I will get back to you though tomorrow. Pinky promise. Sir Bishop Electra is here to pay a visit. Let him wait for me in the activity room where he can enjoy a cigar. Klein hesitated for a moment before saying he suspected that this was a late response from the goddess. Walter immediately turned around and went downstairs to make an arrangement. Before long, he returned and said, Sir Bishop Electra has already bade farewell and left. He wanted me to tell you that you must go to St. Samuel Cathedral in the morning. He said that the church and the government are going to hold an air raid drill together. An air raid. What? An air raid drill? Klein frowned. At that moment, his spiritual perception was triggered. He turned around and looked out the window. In the air, there were rows of dark brown colored air. What the fuck is going on? What? Wait, there were rows of dark brown colored airships approaching. These airships had slanted patterns of red, white, and yellow embedded. This was the flag of FASIC. Oh my god, is FASIC attacking? No, this was a drill. This was the flag of FASIC. Upon seeing the scene, Klein suddenly understood what he had overlooked. War might not be initiated by the Lowen Kingdom. An ancient and hidden organization definitely has very high-ranking members in other countries. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been able to affect the world situation. Wait, Lowen is not initiating it. It's FASIC. The FASIC Empire is the one that's gonna start the war? Are you kidding me? That's so crazy. I mean, we've been dealing with like FASIC spies since like Volume 2, or like Intis. Like it's future American Schooldraw. Oh hell no, man. This I'm kind of scared now. You guys are so excited for war. What the fuck, dude? All right, chapter 1083 is called Back. Oh my god, is it actually happening? Backlund and Chaos. Although the Sonia Sea wasn't like the Fog Sea, with it often being filled with fog, the northern regions would occasionally fill up the rather thick fog every autumn and winter mornings. Oh, and they're using the fog to conceal themselves. Olga Wilson's Blue Avenger was sailing in such an environment, following the borders of the Sonia Sea back to the Lowen coast. He had already spent too long in the North Sonia Sea, so he needed to return for a routine report. Within the pale white fog, the ghost ships quietly proceeded forward, occasionally appearing like a dream that didn't even leave any traces. Olga was wrapped by the wind as he stood in midair in front of the wind. Admiring war arcs are almost always big. We were pretty good, man. Admiring the white world outside, he'd allowed his thoughts to wander in different directions. Suddenly, his eyes focused as some silvery white light flashed in his pupils. He saw a large sail through the fog. Oh shit, it's the warships. If it's silver, it's okay, it's like an actual battleship. He saw a large sail through the fog distance and a massive ship silently cruising past. Oh, shit's the battleships. The ship wasn't alone. Behind it were several similar ships. 1, 2, 3. They formed the fleet. What is going on? Do you guys hear the music? I can hear it. Do you guys hear it? All right, man, let's keep reading, dude. I can't believe it. This is actually real. I thought you guys were trolling me when you guys were spamming war a few streams ago. The ship wasn't alone. Behind it were several similar ships. 1, 2, 3. They formed a fleet that spanned a great distance. Phase 6 Sonia Sea Fleet. We can barely hear you. I think your mic is turned down. You got me unhinged. They've all been mobilized. Where are they heading to? Oliver's feet landed on the deck. His gaze immediately turned to the other side where Sonia Island was located. After the various exchanges of the Terror Club, Oliver was already certain that the world situation was tense, with war about to break out at any moment. At that moment, he made some connections and made a guess. To the Phasic Empire of the Lowen Kingdom, Sonia Island was extremely important. If it were occupied, the Lowen Kingdom's Phasics and Eastern Naval Fleet would be completely blocked off in the cold north, unable to view for any of the various colonies of the Sonia Sea or head to the East Balum. Meanwhile, after waging war, if they wanted to threaten the Lowen Kingdom's hinterlands, they would have to cross the Amantha mountain range or cross the Mitzi Shire, passing through the defenses of several countries. That would be extremely difficult, and if Sonia Island was conquered by the Phasic Empire, then they would use a base to attack all ports in the north and central regions of Lowen, including but not limited to Enmont Harbor or Pritz Harbor. If the Phasic commander was more daring and unfazed by the losses, he could even be able to directly target the capital of the Lowen Kingdom, Backlund, which was not far from the port. Oh, no. No, bro. Oh, dude, the Moretti siblings are in Backlund. Oh, man, I'm not excited for war anymore. Oh, shit, my excitement went down now. Wait, no, this is scary. If we attack Backlund, oh, they are in so much danger. It was precisely because of this that the two countries had waged the 20-year war. The Phasic Empire clinched victory, and they had obtained the crucial southern part. In the Battle of the Oh, yeah, we remember this. Okay. And the Battle of the Violated Oath, Lowen had won the war, but had failed to regain this territory. And the strategic goal for the war were only half achieved. So they didn't finish. Oliver stared at the scene for more than a moment before speaking to serious tone. Is war about to erupt? In Backlund, a large number of airships from Phasic had entered the North Border and had arrived above the huge city. Oh, shit, dude. What the fuck, dude? As soon as they drew near, the Holy Wind Cathedral seemed to have made certain precautions. The howling of the wind intensified, turning into several giant bluish-black blades that withstood towards the target like surface-to-air missiles. Oh my god, they're attacking. Seeing that the huge blades were about to hit the airships, an invisible layer of defense appeared. Oh my god, we have fucking Beyonders on the ship. Okay, so we're actually... Wait... So that means we actually have Beyonders in the high ranks for the war. Oh my god, it's like it's a Beyonder war. It's not just like a random war with like fodder lieutenants or like just like schmuck ass generals and like brigadiers. Like no, we actually have like high rank oh my god. This is gonna be such a badass war, dude. Under the violent strike, the transparent wall shook, but ultimately managed to hold on. At the same time, the compartment from guns, projectile launchers, and cannons of the airships opened up and aimed downwards. Boom. Oh my god, this is a long-ass chapter. As a hurricane around the Holy Wind Cathedral took form, a loud explosive boom emitted in every direction. In such a terrifying storm, the airships were like boats sailing through the sea where they met mountain-like waves were about to be tossed into the distance. At that moment, the blood and rust-like gleams of light flashed on the leading airship. They enveloped all other accompanying airships and connected them together. Suddenly, Phasic's airship's fleet had stabilized in a hurricane and was no longer a puny boat in the gigantic waves. This is so... This is crazy, dude. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. This is crazy. Do you think the armies... No, I know they have... Like, I know in a lot of high-ranking positions you have Beyonders, but, like, it's cool that we're actually gonna, like, see them in action, right? Like, oh my god, it's crazy. After the Phasacians block this wave attack... Wait, I just skipped a part. Suddenly, Phasic's airship felt... Wait, no. I skipped something. As a hurricane around the Holy Wind Cathedral took form, a loud explosive boom emitted in every direction. In such a terrifying storm, the airships were like boats sailing through the sea, where they met mountain-like waves and were about to be tossed into the distance. At that moment, the blood and rust-like beams of light flashed from the leading airship. They enveloped all other accompanying airships and connected them together. This is wild, dude. Suddenly, Phasic's airship fleets had stabilized in a hurricane and was no longer a puny boat in the gigantic waves. The power of high-level Red Priest pathways belonged to war, and war was the art of gathering the masses. This was the authority of the authority of a war bishop. After the Phasacians blocked this wave attack, they took advantage of the gaps in between the wave of attacks to deliver their bombs through the hatches and allow them to drop beneath them. And in the hurricane, the trajectories of the booms became unpredictable. Boom, boom. The cannon hatches also lit up and showered off the powers of the honor of the god of war. This airship fleet didn't attempt to travel through Backlund. After entering the North Borough, it immediately turned to the West Borough and the center of politics from the Lone Kingdom. North Borough, Backlund University of Technology, the withered interparcel trees, leaves swayed into the wind. Students were either carrying books or bags as they walked around the campus. I can't believe it's like it hasn't even settled in that we're actually going to war. It's like when I was reading Attack on Titan, I'm like, wait, what the fuck? We're actually going to war. As a member of the Institute of Higher Educations and the first batch of students of this reorganized university, the young adults were full of vigor. They looked forward to their future and would gather together every day to discuss their ideals, recite poems, and research technology. They were pure and happy. Melissa oh no, no way. Why are we talking about Melissa now when we're going to war? Wait. Melissa Moretti walked amidst these as she raised her head to look at the wall clock at the top of the main teaching building and involuntarily hastened her place. She had to go to Chancellor Moment's office today to prepare for the upcoming mechanical laboratory that had also been officially launched. This was something that she had enjoyed greatly, something which made her feel happy every day. I'm going to raise the volume up a little bit more. She felt like the life on campus was so wonderful that her classmates were so adorable. Subconsciously, Melissa looked at the steam locomotive in the middle of the square. Its massive, complicated body was displaying its infinite charm in the machinery industry. Quite a number of students liked to gather there, knocking, hitting, and analyzing structure as soon as it didn't encourage or forbid it. The corners of Melissa's lips curled into a smile as she moved to look away. Suddenly, a metallic gray object... Oh, no! Oh, fuck you, dude. Ah, fuck. No. I'm fucking done, dude. I'm dropping this series. Wiz can finish for all I fucking care. If Melissa dies, I drop this bitch. Oh, shit. I read boom and I don't want to continue. Suddenly, a metallic gray object descended. Oh, shit. A metallic gray object descended from the sky and landed in the middle of the square. Boom. Oh, fuck, I'm getting lightheaded. It's Joe over? Oh, it's fucking over, man. The ground shook violently as all the windows of the main teaching building shattered. Oh, fuck. This is scary. Oh, fuck, dude. Oh, shit. I'm getting goosebumps. If not for the distance, Melissa might have been thrown up by the blast of the air. Countless screams rang out, and like the other students, Melissa fled in panic, not knowing what had happened. She was only 16 years old after all. She had never experienced such a scene before. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck, dude. I got tears. Oh, God. Oh, God. Okay, man, this got real so quickly. Oh, shit. War got scary really quickly. I was really excited. Now I'm scared. The billowing dust and smoke gradually fell. After hiding behind a tree, Melissa subconsciously looked at the spot where the explosion had just occurred. Her expression instantly froze and her eyes glazed over. The steam locomotive's head was already in pieces. Its components and fragments were scattered everywhere. The students around it and those passing by had already collapsed to the ground. Their bodies no longer intact. They were no longer breathing. Some of them were covered in blood. Others charred. There were some moaning in the pain. Oh, fuck. This scene was like an oil painting that wasn't realistic enough. Melissa stared at it in the daze, momentarily at a loss for her reaction. Carter, she knew the male student... Oh, he's dead. Carter, she knew that the male student who had a great spirit for research, every time everyone was in discussion, he would confidently say that he was going to be a ship engineer, and he was literally killed by an airship. Now only half of his lower body left, and the intestines were all over the ground. Oh, fuck, man. I'm gonna raise it a little bit more. Ah, shit, man. I'm gonna raise it. I'm gonna raise it. Edora, she had a student from the same faculty as her. Despite studying machinery, she loved poetry very much and was rather talented in this aspect. She was loved by the people around her. Sometimes Melissa would also attend their gatherings and quietly listen to Edora's recital. I can't read this, man. I'm so sad now. Listen to Edora's recital. She felt that this girl was really attractive, but now her legs was badly mutated and she was moaning health consciousness and pain. Oh, man. In just a few seconds, these people's features had been cruelly changed. I'm so fucking sad. It was only when many teachers rushed out to the teaching block and started to rescue the injured and evacuate the students that Melissa woke up from her trance and hurriedly moved closer to the teachers. Listen to me. All of you are to split into two groups. One batch will head to the laboratories and the other to Tiffany Cathedral. They'll all have an underground area that you can hide in. One of the teachers wore a look of terror, but he still had held his breath and made arrangements with his clear voice as though he had been specifically trained. He looked around and saw that the students didn't dare to leave the teachers. He hurriedly said, "Don't worry, the enemy's airships had already turned and gone to Westboro. There's no danger here." His words hurt. Oh, dude, fucking Klein needs to come in right now and fucking blow up all the airships and just get, like, he can do it. I believe he can do it. Just fucking, I think Klein can just take them all out right now. I think I'm glazing him too much, but he needs to do this right now. His words were accompanied by a rumbling explosion that came from the southwest. Westboro, the kingdom's parliament, various departments, and municipal halls are there. Upon hearing the teacher's words, Melissa immediately thought of many things. As the light in her eyes flickered, she suddenly pursed her lips tightly and ran towards the school gate, ignoring her teacher calling from behind. As she moved along a sheltered area, Melissa quickly arrived on the streets. She panted heavily and looked around, trying to get her bearings. At that moment, she saw a subway entrance nearby. Although she was flustered, she still remembered what the teacher had just said. Underground area that you can hide it. Isn't the subway underground? The bombing has just started and the subway probably hasn't stopped moving. As her thoughts raced, Melissa rushed towards the entrance that showed signs of bombardment. Upon going underground, she realized that the people here weren't as many as she had expected. Most ordinary people who had never been trained wouldn't think of hiding in here immediately. The subway had indeed not stopped moving, but no one was checking the tickets. After a short wait, Melissa ran over, her lips tightly pursed as her face filled with anxiety. After 3 stops, the subway stopped at Kings Avenue. Melissa squeezed through the crowd and rushed out of the carriage. She had already recovered her stamina. She ran along the stairs, her speed increasing ever so slightly before she quickly reached to the surface. Oh my god, I can't read this, dude. I'm scared. At this moment, whatever she could see was in a state of chaos. Many buildings had collapsed as they were burning in the scarlet flames. Broken limbs, blood, and the dead were everywhere. She could hear her cry, scream, and order. Upon seeing the scene, Melissa became even more anxious as she tried to run towards the 4-story buildings where the kingdom's Ministry of Finance was located. However, the area had already been sealed. She could see many windows panes that had shattered. The walls were riddled with bullet holes, and there were still traces of an explosion. Melissa tried to enter the perimeter but was stopped by the soldiers who were maintaining order. They only served to increase her anxiety as her eyes reddened. At this moment, she saw a familiar figure. It was a black-haired, brown-eyed Benson who wasn't wearing a hat. Oh, fuck, man. Upon seeing Melissa, Benson, please tell me he's okay. Okay, he's okay. Melissa, I was like, please don't kill him. Benson. I mixed Melissa and Benson. I tried saying it together. Upon seeing Melissa, Benson immediately rushed over. He looked anxious and angry as he shouted, "Why are you here? Why aren't you hiding underground? I'm very safe here. Quick, follow me there." "Didn't you not go underground either?" Melissa, who had never been shouted at by her brother, wanted to instinctively retort, but her vision was already blurry. Phew. After he shouted and he let out a breath of softness, his tone, it's good that you're okay. Quick, don't wander around on the streets." Upon hearing his words, the panic and concern in Melissa's heart calmed down. At this moment, she felt that even if she were to die, it wouldn't be that scary anymore. No, don't say that, dude. Oh, please don't say that. No, it wouldn't be that scary anymore. Here, I'll turn it all the way up. How's that? It wouldn't be that scary anymore. At least she would be the only one left at home. At least she wouldn't be the only... Oh, man, she misses Klein so much, dude. Oh, man, at least she wouldn't be the only one left at home. At this moment, a bomb was blown up over by a hurricane and was landing towards the area. But suddenly, the bomb changed directions abruptly and flew off horizontally. Boom. Oh, did it ricochet into their own... Oh, no. It exploded in midair, only stirring up a blast of the air. Oh. I thought it landed in their direction. Okay, so we're okay. Chapter 1084 is called The People and War. Boom, boom. In the building of the Sherwood Borough, 17 Min Street, the female owner of the building, Stellene Samir, and her maidservants heard a loud explosion from afar. She fearfully hid in the corner of the room, feeling as though the ground beneath her feet was trembling. Only after the constant terrifying commotion started to fade away that her straightened hair body and looked left and right with an unusually strained mind. What exactly happened? Oh, man. The two maidservants simultaneously shook their heads. They were both at a loss and also afraid. As soon as she left the corner of the room, she instinctively wanted to walk out of the room and talk to her neighbors to figure out what had just happened. However, she was worried that another attack would happen again. She had no choice but to pace around in the living room. After a few minutes, she suddenly heard the sound of the door opening. She quickly turned her head and realized that the husband, Luke Samir, had returned with his valet. Oh, I thought he was dead. Okay. "Aren't you working?" Stellene asked subconsciously. The stout Luke replied subtly, "I happened to pass by the vicinity and came back immediately. Quick, put on your coat. Let's go to the cathedral now." "What happened? What happened?" Stellene asked again. Luke took the 2 steps forward and said, "Basic airships are bombing Backlund." How could this be?" Stellene's eyes widened in disbelief. "Now is not the time to discuss this. Whatever it is, it has already happened. We have to go to the cathedral immediately." Luke gave his wife a hug. "Don't worry too much. I think those airships aren't heading over." All right, Stellene replied in panic. As she wore the coat to the maidservant had brought over, she instinctively said with concern, "What about the children? They're at the church and school. They're at the church's school, so they'll be with people who will arrange for them to take shelter. We don't have time to reach them," Luke said calmly. "All right." Celine made a prayer gesture, hoping that the deity she believed in would provide them with protection. Hell no, man. It's not going to work out. The two of them, along with their male and female servants, quickly exited their room and walked towards the other end of the street. As she passed by Unit 58, my bad, not 52, 58. Celine took a glance at Whisper. Previously, I had left at Lord Jurgen saying that he gave up a lot of opportunities in Backlund for moving to the south just because of Mr. Dora's ailments. Now I'm starting to envy him. Luke shot her a look and said, "Don't worry too much, it'll be fine." Now when she's like, "Oh, I can't do anything now," he's like, "Oh, okay, now she feels what he feels." Luke shook her a look and said, "Don't worry too much, it'll be fine." While watching quickly, Celine couldn't help but ask, "Luke, are we fleeing Backlund?" "No, there's no need." Luke Samir answered firmly. This was just an accident. Seeing that his wife was clearly confused, he added, "Backlund is the capital of the kingdom, so it has to be the most well-defended area. This time is just an oversight that no one expected. The next time, the Phaeacians won't have any other chance." I hope. The kingdom had the strongest military in the northern and southern continents. The Phaeacians will definitely be taught a lesson. There's no way that they can invade Backlund again. After this, Backlund will definitely be the safest place to be. I see Celine felt that her husband's words made sense as she was willing to believe in him. After the explanation, Luke fell silent for a few seconds. However, we still have to make some preparations. Once the church announces that we can move freely, we'll immediately fetch the children back and buy more food. We'll buy as much as we can. Inside a public school in the Backlund Bridge area, due to the distance, Daisy and her classmates didn't realize what had happened in North and West Boroughs, nor did they sense the chaos they had spread from the Hilton Borough to Sherwood Borough. I can't find any art on Benson and Melissa. They don't also have Klein in them. Oh, that don't also have him in it. It's okay. I thought there'd be like official art where like just like the character portrait. Oh, I guess not. Okay, no, it's cool. We'll figure something out then. However, teachers still came to their classes and arranged for them to line up and head to the nearest cathedral. This made Daisy recall the great smog of Backlund last year. Back then, they had also been asked to hide in the cathedral beside the school. Did something similar happen again? The trauma in Daisy's heart, man, I feel so bad for her. The trauma in Daisy's heart made her tremble slightly as she felt intense sadness and anger. When she passed by the door, she couldn't help but turn her head to look at the teacher in charge and ask, "Is it another disaster?" Maybe. Dude, she literally lost her mother and sister, and now it's like, now she's going to war. Maybe the teacher didn't know the details and only followed the orders sent by the telegram. Is there a disaster like this every year, or maybe even more than one? Daisy asked with a slightly ethereal voice with a ting of innocence. The teacher looked at her with pity and shook his head. All the difficulties would pass. God will protect everyone. Fuck no, man. Daisy didn't waste his time and followed the crowd to the nearest cathedral in a somewhat blank manner. Northborough, 22 Phillips Street. After hearing the explosion inside of the Low and Charity Bercy Foundation, the first thing Audrey did was to conceal her dragon scales before rushing to the window. Seeing the airship with a Phaeacic flag appearing in the air and the bombs being carried away by the hurricane and being thrown into the distance, either landing on the ground and exploding or disappearing as soon as they had entered the spirit world, a thought flashed across her mind. The words that the world Mr. German Sparrows had said, as well as the mission of psychology alchemist, she came to the realization war had truly erupted. She immediately turned her head and said to the huge golden retriever, Susie, her personal lady's maid Annie, and the others, quick, hide in St. Samuel Cathedral. Although Audrey didn't know how to deal with the air raid, the education she received from a young age told her to go to the cathedral as soon as possible if she'd ever encounter danger. In fact, she instinctively wanted to rush back to the Emperor's Board to protect her mother. However, considering that Annie and the other servants and staff were ordinary people who lacked experience and the ability to deal with such a crisis, she had no chance but to take care of them and accompany them to St. Samuel Cathedral. Oh man, the Terror Club is gonna have to put in work, bro. Oh shit. They are going to have to put in work. There's one of them standing over Klein's grave. I think that can work. I think that can work, Milosh. I think that's going to work. Yeah, I think that can work. Standing them to St. Samuel Cathedral. In order to resolve, I think that's actually going to be a perfect one. And then we can just take them to. I think it's going to work. In order to resolve any dangers that she might encounter along the way, she planned to put on Hand of Horror and lie. On the other hand, she could distort the trajectory of bullets. On the other hand, she could control the flames and trigger the bombs in advance. Dude, she has come such a long way, dude. And it, like, from volume 1, the fact that she's going to be able to kind of help out, that's crazy. In the face of long-range attacks, the beyond her powers of Spectre Pathway were indeed not effective. While secretly protecting her servants and the foundation staff, she successfully entered St. Sam Cathedral and saw a few bishops and priests approaching her. Miss Audrey, you don't have to worry about the Earl and his wife, as well as Lord Hybrid. They have people to protect them, and narrate like this won't harm them. Besides, you also know how grand your family basement is and how strong it is. One of the bishops quickly brought her to the side of the console to console her. After taking off her fishnet glove, she nodded and acknowledged that the words of the bishop. She was no longer in a hurry to return home and instead asked, "What's the current situation like?" "The Faysakians have lost 2 airships and have moved towards Westboro. Don't worry, all the defenses have been mustered. They won't cause any further damage." After a simple exchange of words, the bishops led Audrey's group towards the underground area at the cathedral, and further below was where the Nighthawks were active. 160 Backlund Street, Butler Walter and a group of servants hid in the underground area, which was used as a wine cellar. This was done under Dwayne Dantes' orders, and the gentleman had headed out of the Bishop Electra with his valet. After an unknown period of time, Walter and company heard a knock on the door. Through the peephole, they confirmed that their employer had returned. "There aren't any more raids now, but it's best if you hide in St. Sam Cathedral for a while," Klein said, and surveyed the area. "Yes, sir," Walter replied on behalf of the servants before asking, and after that, as a qualified butler, he often read the papers and underground. The situation was tense. It wasn't difficult to guess that a war would break out after the explosion. Klein thought for a moment before saying, "Once the church had verified the situation, we'll head to Mayor Manor. You can bring your family along. No matter what, the capital of the kingdom is definitely a relatively safe place, and the manor of the periphery of the capital definitely wouldn't be a target of air raids. And it's of no value. Yes, there's enough food in Mayor Manor, and there's a large supply of wine. Even if the war were to be extended for a long period of time, hopefully that doesn't happen, we wouldn't have to worry about starving to death." Upon hearing the employer's words, the servants who had already formed a family immediately revealed the looks of delight. Wiping away the pale looks of fear, Walter expressed his gratitude directly. He said with some deliberation, "You can buy more food. Under such circumstances, no one will find it excessive. Also, there might not be any more attacks near Backlund, but I can't say the same for security. The manor outside the city must be on guard." Klein nodded. "I've also considered this. I'll discuss this with the Member of Parliament, martial military personnel, about the purchases of decommissioned weapons and bullets. You must practice more. Anyways, during this period of time, Uni and I will return to Backlund to handle certain matters according to the situation. If there's anything I haven't considered, I'll make up for it later. As for the food, he didn't forbid Butler Walter from buying it. This way, if a famine really happened, he wouldn't have the ability to save them." After discussing, oh man, this is kind of scary, dude. What the fuck? Now it's like, now everybody's like overplaying, like, okay, what if this happens, or what if it keeps going, or like, what if there's all this? Hopefully it doesn't get too bad. After discussing the followed procedures, everyone in the residence of Dwayne Dantes packed up their luggage and brought their valuables. They followed their employers in St. Sam Cathedral and arrived in underground. With a single glance, he saw Audrey walk amidst the people, placate their moods. He smiled and nodded at her. Upon seeing Dwayne Dantes, Audrey smiled back and confirmed that nothing major had happened from his attitude. Forrest and Shield had moved again, but they were still in the borders of Eastboro, and they were even closer to the Backlund Bridge area. After waking up naturally, Forrest rubbed her head and walked out of the bedroom to prepare lunch. As she looked around, she saw Shield, who had gone out early, sitting on a chair and flipping through the newspapers. "What's wrong?" Forrest asked blankly. Shield frowned and said, "The Faysakians air-raided bombed the North and Westboro." "What?" Forrest first blurted out before recalling the matters that had been discussed at the Terror Club. At that moment, a paperboy's voice came from outside. "Extra, extra, the kingdoms declare war on Faysik. Extra, extra, the kingdom declares war on Faysik." Holy shit, dude. The kingdom declares war on Faysik. Oh my god. This is crazy, dude. Oh, volume 5 is gonna be a good chapter, huh, guys? Oh, man. I meant volume 5 is gonna be a good volume. Thank you, Milosh. Chapter 1085 is called Scrutinizing the Situation. Extra, extra. The kingdom declares war on Faysik on... Oh, my God. On the way from Mayor Manor to Backlund, Klein heard the paperboy shouting on the streets with brisk steps while on the horse carriage. Although he had already made the preparations, he still had sighed after confirming that the war had truly erupted. He couldn't help but feel depressed again. The grudge from having Sonia Island, a key territory, taken away, the conflict over the rights of the colonies, the defeat from the previous war, the political corruption leading to a recession. Ever since the repeal of the Grain Act, many farmers of the kingdom have gone bankrupt due to the importing of foreign food products. The lower class live in abject conditions. The rich-poor divide only grew deeper. Fuck, man, this sounds like the bad. This is definitely the bad timeline. Bad timeline. The middle class's blind confidence in lowing kingdom's might and the eager desire to raise their own positions. The intensifying conflict between different political factions in high society leading to a fracture. The king and his faction wish for a large-scale war. With all these factors combined, just from an objective standpoint, and considering this from the experience, and considering this from... Wait, what? I skipped the line. And considering this from the angle of materialism, it's almost inevitable for Lowen to start a war. Inevitable. Reality is the best author. Jumping out from his experience from the past, Klein scrutinized the Lowen Kingdom situation from a fresh point of view. He realized that the tides of times had already formed and were surging over. Without a true deity's descent, it was completely unstoppable. In comparison, what puzzled him more was that the Phasic Empire would be willing to initiate a war. Even if the members of the ancient secret organization were indeed members of the upper echelons of the Phasic or the Church of the God of Combat, key figures who had right to make the decision, there was no way they could be alone in deciding such an important matter. How could the others agree to a world war? Could it be that the conflict between the various classes in the Phasic Empire had also completely escalated to the point that it urgently needed a war? It urgently needed a war? With his lack of understanding of the Empire of the North, it was difficult for Klein to make an accurate judgment, but they just won the East Balam War and reaped more of the rights to the colonies. I'll lower it down now a little bit more. There's no reason for its situation to be more serious than Lowen's. Yes, the royal family, the Einhorn family, it is the control of the Red Priest pathway. It's understandable. Oh, the royal family. Okay, wait. Got it. Now I'm seeing why it's... now I'm seeing the Volume 5 title. There's no reason for a situation to be more serious than Lowen's. Yes, the royal family, the Einhorn family, it is in control of the Red Priest pathway. Einhorn's going to be a little bit important in this volume, huh? It's understandable that they crave war, but fucking shit, they do crave war. But the Church of the God of Combat has no reason not to stop it. As a member of the Orthodox Deity Alliance, they lack the motivation to help Amon's brother advance to Sequence Zero. Thinking of that, Klein suddenly came up with a theory. That brother Amon realized that the goddess had already acquired the uniqueness of the death pathway and is in a critical stage, so he revealed this information to the Church of God of Combat so they can start the war. And the God of Combat is in a neighboring pathway with the goddess, so there's no way he can ignore this matter. He will definitely make an intense response. So this would be the intense response. Of course, it might not be done by the brother of Amon. It might also be because of the numinous Episcopate's artificial death faction's angel. Hader, after being warned by Einhorn, Saran Medici, this conspirer expert, he discovered that the abnormalities ahead of time. On the other hand, he pretended not to notice anything and continued to set up a probe. On the other hand, he pulled in the Church of the God of Combat to worsen the situation and make it more chaotic. The Red Angel evil spirit is truly a symbol of war. If this is really the case, then it's inevitable for Phasic to wage war. Furthermore, the matter regarding this uniqueness of the death pathway has no room for compromise. At this critical moment, the God of Combat might descend, causing a battle of gods that hasn't happened since the end of the 4th epoch to happen. Get the fuck out of here, dude. All of a sudden, I'm excited again, dude. Yo, what's up, dude? I could finally catch a stream. Yo, what's up, dude? Yo, thanks for joining, man. Yeah, I'm sorry we're only doing 5 chapters, but don't worry. Tomorrow we're going to be here for a few hours. This time for the airship fleet from the Phasic could stealthily to travel from the coast for nearly 100 kilometers without being detected. It would definitely have a weather warlock providing protection. Holy shit. Otherwise, even if they were to take a detour across the places with few people, they'll still be seen ahead of time and definitely be stopped by the lone airships. A weather warlock is an angel since the 5th epoch. The number of wars that have beyonders at this level are a few and far between. After Emperor Rozel's death, most soldiers don't even know of beyonders, even of the colonial wars. To have a weather warlock be involved in this means this is really a battle that will sweep through the entire world. Oh my god. The entire world. It involves battles at levels. Is this what Amon's brother wants? When the time comes, the Lord of Storms, the Eternal Blazing Sun, the Earth Mother... Whoa! There's so many gods right here. Whoa, wait, hold up. When the time comes, the Lord of Storms, the Eternal Blazing Sun, the Earth Mother, the God of Steam and Machinery, the God of Knowledge and Wisdom will have to take their respective stances with a conflict that they have temporarily suppressed for almost 2,000 years be escalated. Oh my god. They're all going to get involved in at the end of this war. Oh shit. Earth Mother like the giants, even amongst her blessed, they are Phasacians. And because of the splitting of the Lemberg, Mason, and Cigar... Oh, wait, I forgot this. And because of the splitting of Lemberg, Mason, and Cigar, these are the different regions, right? Phasic is split into 3 regions. These made the Fane Potter Kingdom bear a bone-deep grudge with the Lone Kingdom and Entis. Wait, no, I think I'm wrong. The king's powers and the divine powers are highly like to be unified, and they might form an alliance with Fasik. From the south to the north, they will attack Lone and Entis. Of course, countries like Lindbergh and the Church of Knowledge, who are in the crossfire, will definitely try to stop it. As for the Desi Bay, Finnapotter, and Lone Kingdom are directly connected. The south wouldn't be peaceful either. The more Klein thought about it, the more he felt the situation in the North Continent would become abnormally chaotic, and no matter what direction it developed into, he couldn't stop it. Even as a Sequence 4 demigod under the tide of times, there was no way for him to cause any major impact in this battle of gods, or exert any key influence. It would be pretty good if he could protect himself and the people he cared about. Previously, when the Fasik air fleet attacked, the first thing he did was arrange for Butler Walter and company to hide in the underground area that was used as a wine cellar. Then he teleported to Backlund University of Technology, and at the time a bomb had already hit the ground. Some had died and others were injured. The only thing he was thankful for was that his sister Melissa wasn't within the vicinity of the explosion. By the time Melissa and Benson met, the airships from Fasik didn't stay for long and quickly retreated from Backlund. Only then did they had returned to Dwayne Dante's residence. Phew, Klein let out a slow sigh of relief. He turned his head and looked out the window and saw that after hearing that the kingdoms was declaring war on Fasik, a small number of pedestrians on the street wore a look of horror, as though they had recalled that the air raid in the morning. Most of them wore a blank expression with a look of panic, and they had no idea what they could do even if they wanted to. Oh, man. They might not have truly understood what this war would bring, but they instinctively felt the peace had been broken. The future was chaotic, messing, fraught with danger. Klein retracted his gaze and looked at his valet, Uni, who was sitting opposite to him. From his eyes, he realized that this was something at a loss. He gave a half-smile inside. He raised his hand to rub his temples and wiped away his depression and helping feelings. He thought about what he could do and what he needed to take note of. No matter what, with experience and lessons, the king's faction had a war spark out as they wished. Before all the lone collapses, it's nearly impossible for Fasik to invade Backlund again. It would be safer for Benson and Melissa to stay here. What's more worrisome is the lack of food and various assassinations. The latter is nothing. The place where Melissa and Benson live is decided by their own levels. They aren't anywhere close to coming into contact with someone important who is also target for assassination, so they wouldn't be implicated. Oh my god, I cannot read this fucking word for the life of me. Implicated. Fortunately, Portland Moments Research Laboratory has just been established, and there are no results for it yet. It wouldn't become a target that must be destroyed. As for the former, I can provide some help through Miss Audrey. The Winter County and the Holy Cathedral is located in the far north reaches of the kingdom, next to Fasik. Ooh, that's a very dangerous area. Next to Fasik, it's always the front line of every war. Ma'am Mariana might have already returned to help the military. Oh, she might also be elsewhere to protect the coast. After all, the defenses of Backlund are sufficient. The royal families definitely have grade 0 sealed artifacts and also angels. Man, this is gonna be crazy. The three churches most likely have hidden tricks up their sleeves. In the case my greatest pillar of support is gone, at most, I can get some help from the church and use some sealed artifacts. In the past, I wasn't too worried about the effects of the Red Angel Evil Spirit's return has on me. Now I have to raise my guard for this matter. Patrick Bryan knows very well that Dwayne Dantes is equivalent to German Sparrow, who is equivalent to the Bless of Death. I had intentionally revealed this information, hoping that it would direct the points of suspicion to Mr. Zik, the Death Consul. And now this also means, dude, Zik is going to have to come back during this war. Like, he's going to have to wake up quick. We're going to have to speed it up. This also means that the Red Angel Evil Spirit would be able to grasp the information in no time. The Red Angel Evil Spirit currently only has a high level, but his actual standard shouldn't have recovered to the level of an angel. There's no irreconcilable feud between him and me, nor do I have what he wants. Even if he knows that Dantes is equivalent to German Sparrow, it would be very unlikely for him to deal with me directly. Damn, look at him getting all excited and cocky. Like, he won't be able to deal with me directly. Other than attacking me directly, what harm will it bring after he grasps the situation? Is he using this to set up a conspiracy or sell the intelligence to someone who needs it? What conspiracy? Who would want it? Many thoughts and names surfaced in his mind, but they were quickly limited by him. This includes Amon Brother and the Angel of Fate, Ouroboros, from the Red Angel's Evil Spirits. You know what? Ouroboros has been pretty quiet recently. Now I'm trying to find out what he's going to do. I'm trying to think, how he's going to be involved. From the Red Angel Evil Spirit's past actions for the time being, he would make contact with the Rose Redemption, and Amon's brother is a sworn enemy of the Medici Company. Suddenly, a name appeared in his mind, Zaratul, the leader of the Secret Order, the Sequence 1 Seer Pathway Angel Zaratul, who had returned to normalcy after becoming mad. According to Rhodes' feedback, this powerful and concealed existence has already left his original location, and his whereabouts were unknown. Previously, Klein had been wondering if he would come to Backlund due to the law beyond the characteristics of convergence. Medici and Zaratul and the Zaros families were serving under the Solomon Empire. Even if they weren't friendly with each other, they must be very familiar with each other. In the foggy town, Zaratul had met Gurman Sparrow. If he really wants to pursue something, he would definitely chase after that crazy adventurer. With a thought in his mind, Klein instinctively began to assume that Zaratul was in Backlund in search of Gurman Sparrow, and with that, he began to analyze the situation from other abnormalities. At almost the same instant that he had thought of something, Klein recalled the failure of the joint operations between Sharon and the Sanguine. Ouroboros is going to show up in a bunny, trust me. Yeah, bro, when that happens, that's definitely going to be our thumbnail. I promise you that, Milosh. If that happens, that will be our thumbnail. On the full, that will be our bunny suit. Ouroboros will be our thumbnail if that actually happens. You have my word. The Rose School of Thought is also looking for Gurman Sparrow, so would Zaratul, who received the corresponding news, would work with him. That, or we make a fanfic so we can use that as a thumbnail. That'd be pretty fire. Back then, the operation was on the brink of success. The Rose School of Thought's person in charge in Backlund had left in a hurry. Clearly, he had only noticed a problem at the last moment. With the Sanguine preparing the corresponding sealed artifact, it's rather impossible for such a failure to happen. Even the Sanguine Duke was puzzled and confused. But what if it was thanks to the perceptive intuition of a Sequence 1 angel of the Seer Pathway? This would explain it perfectly. Back then, Zaratul was sitting opposite of the Rose School of Thought, Backlund person in charge. The Rose School of Thought retracted in a panic and had even deliberately left behind a doll to create moonlight and cleanse everything so as to cover up the existence of Zaratul. Also, the fact that Gurman Sparrow had a certain relationship with the Deaf Console isn't a secret. Yeah, everybody knows this now. Isn't a secret. With Zaratul spread out all his marionettes and sense if there's the powers of Deaf and Backlund. Whoa. Dude, I'm trying to, like, how many would he be able to, like, control, dude? Previously, when Patrick Bryan was holding the rituals, this was actually Zaratul's Previously, when Patrick Bryan was holding rituals, there was actually Zaratul's marionette watching him. If the Red Angel Evil Spirit has already sold the intelligence to Zaratul, then what? Fuck, there is so much espionage going on in the background. If the Red Angel Evil Spirit has already sold the intelligence to Zaratul, then wouldn't my returning to Backlund Street in such a chaotic situation be giving myself up? Yeah. That'd be a little too on the nose. His people's constricted as he immediately said with a coachman in front. Just stop here. I suddenly thought of something else I need to settle. After he said that, he felt extremely tense, afraid of the coachman wouldn't answer him and continue driving. Oh, shit. You think the coachman is one of them? Fortunately, none of this happened. The horse carriage stopped by the side of the road, and with his valet Uni, Klein walked towards a small alley nearby. Immediately following that, he snapped his fingers and allowed the scarlet flames to emerge from his pocket, covering both himself and his marionette. He had to rush to St. Samuel Cathedral. Isn't that... Wait, that's where Benson and Melissa are. They went to St. Samuel Cathedral. Or no, or that's where Audrey's people went. He had to rush to St. Samuel Cathedral as soon as possible in a concealed manner. With a flash of flames, their two figures disappeared. However, after completing a leap, the flames with his senses suddenly disappeared, all of them. Is somebody concealing it? A spacious living room appeared in front of him. On an ordinary reclining chair was a tall and thin man. What the fuck is this? He was young and had southern continent blood in him. He looked rather handsome and appeared a little anemic. Oh shit, it's him? What the fuck? He appeared in front of him? Wait, is that what's happening? However, after completing a leap, the flames within him senses suddenly disappeared, all of them. A spacious living room appeared in front of him. On an ordinary reclining chair was a tall and thin man. He was young and had southern continent blood in him. He looked rather handsome and appeared a little anemic. The Red Angel Evil Spirit, Sauron Einhorn Medici. The Red Angel played with a ball of scarlet flames in his hand as the corners of his mouth curled up. You actually sensed it oh my god, dude, you actually sensed it earlier than I expected. Huh, using flaming jump in front of me. Bro got kidnapped. Fucking shit, dude. So Einhorn, or like Medici, was like, okay, he'll probably do it at this point. Like, oh, he did it a little earlier. So now he's like, he's hyping Klein up a little bit. Like, he's like, oh, I'm subtly impressed now. I think we got time for one more chapter, guys. A simple interference. We got time for one more. All right, it's gonna be our last chapter for today. After this, we are gonna go out, and then we'll be back tomorrow for like a 4 to 8 hour stream. Yeah, we're about to find out we get an even worse cliffhanger. The last one was a pretty good cliffhanger, but I want to read one more. I got time for one more. All right. Chapter 1086 is called A Simple Interference. The moment he saw the red angel evil spirit, Klein's pupils dilated. The human skin glove on his left hand suddenly turned transparent. He didn't listen to what the other party had to say. His instinctive reaction was to immediately teleport away, but it's not going to work. But at this moment, the spirit world that entered his eyes was different from usual. You also, yeah, we'll look at it, and I got you. We'll look at it right now before we end. Countless transparent creatures in the indescribable forms were all dyed in a color that was a mixture of iron and blood. Damn, iron and blood. The surroundings area was filled with thick smoke, and there were 7 rays of light that contained infinite. The fuck, the 7 spirits, the 7 pure lights, 7 rays of light that contained infinite knowledge hidden above them. It was almost impossible to see them. Klein's heart skipped a beat. He didn't rashly teleport. Upon seeing this, the red angel evil spirit chuckled. "What are you afraid of, Zaratul?" Oh shit. Upon hearing this, Klein subconsciously looked around, but he didn't discover anything unusual. Wait, I'm sorry. Is he gonna be a bad guy? He looked like a bad guy. He's definitely a bad guy. Now I'm like, what's gonna happen? The red angel is like, is our enemy's enemy our ally or what? The red angel evil spirit maintained the annoying smile and pointed to the sofa opposite of the reclining chair. If I had already informed him that Dwayne Dantes is German Spro and when you return to 160 Backlund Street in the morning, the person waiting in the wine cellar wouldn't be a living person. Instead, it would be a hung-up butler and servants looking as though they were the ham left to dry age. Of course, they would similarly welcome you warmly. Sit. Under such oh my god, he's just like, sit. Under such circumstances, listening to my thoughts and intentions first isn't a bad thing. Oh shit. He's a cool guy. I think that's a good answer. He imagined the scene described by the red angel evil spirit. Although Klein had done similar things himself, his hair stood on end and he was horrified. He kept his guard up, allowing the marionette, Konis Kilgore, in the form of Dwayne Dantes, to sit on the sofa while he waited by the side as though he was his personal servant, Uni. Oh, wow. That's so cool. Konis, I do like how he makes his marionette act like the main one, and then he acts as a marionette. I do like how he flips it. Konis Kilgore, in the form of Dwayne Dantes, sit on the sofa while he waited by the side as though he was his personal servant, Uni. He had unknowingly swapped places with his marionette and instinctively changed his appearance. That's so cool, dude. Perhaps it's because you just learned of this information from Patrick O'Brien and you haven't even informed Zaratul yet, Klein retorted through his marionette. At the same time, he determined from the words of the red angel evil spirit that Zaratul had really come to Backlund. Oh shit, he's here. This was a complete and unrestricted, terrifying, and bizarre sequence 1 angel. It was enough to be called a hidden existence. The red angel evil spirit's gaze swept across the Valette as his master before smiling. I'll be able to get something I want to know in 15 minutes from a fool like Patrick Bryan. Furthermore, an entire night and a morning has passed since the ritual. You and Miss Messenger might have something in common. Klein made the marionette raise his eyebrows, and so the red angel evil spirit gently rocked the reclining chair it was in. I'm not sure if you've heard of such a saying. When you choose a Beyonder pathway, your corresponding friends and enemies will be determined. As for us, we aren't friends. Oh shit, but we aren't enemies either. Okay, that's chill. We don't gotta be friends, but we definitely don't have to be enemies. As for us, we aren't friends, but we aren't enemies either. Okay, wait, he probably is gonna be a cool guy. The word ham gave me old Kohler flashbacks. Oh, when he just wanted his fucking food and he just fell down. Oh, man. I didn't even think about that. Of course, you did have some conflicts with me, but no one suffered any great losses. The matter has passed. To me, your growth will bring great trouble to a few people I hate. Oh, so I don't want to kill you in advance. But that means he's still... Oh, shit. So he's implying I don't have to kill you yet, but when you advance and you get rid of them, then I'm going to have to take you on. Okay, I'm reading between the lines here. I hate, so I don't want to kill you in advance. I'm happy to see you continue your advancement. The Emperor had said similar words. A few people he hates, Klein delivered and asked, Blasphemer Amon. Not that ignorant and not that stupid either. Not that ignorant and not that stupid either. The red angel evil spirit laughed and stroked his chin. Be it his words or act. Fuck, man. There are so many he's and he's. There are so many he, his's, and asterisks going on in here. I'm going crazy. The red angel evil spirit laughed and stroked his chin. Be it his words or acting, he gave the person the urge to hit him. After some thought, Klein calmly pointed out a question. Then, can you definitely choose Zaratul? If he can raise up Because of this, he will similarly bring extreme trouble for Blasphemous 1. Compared to him, I'm still too weak. I'll still need a long time to grow. There are too many possible accidents from this point forward. The Red Angel Evil Spirit nodded seriously. Indeed, that's what I thought in the beginning as well. A fellow like you, who isn't much stronger than a wild dog, what are you going to use to compete with the already sequence 1 Zard tool? Die faster than anyone else. At this point, the Red Angel Evil Spirit changed the topic inside. However, if one can choose the most ideal proposal in the world, that would be too wonderful. Before he could finish his sentence, a bloody gash appeared on his left bloody cheek. Oh, he cut him. The wound opened up in a wide manner, opening and closing it like a mouth. Oh, it's him talking. Got it. Oh yeah, it's the mouth. I remember now because he had like 2 fucking mouths on each side. The wound opened up in a wide manner, opening up and closing like a mouth and revealing 2 rows of illusory white teeth. I've investigated the collapse of the Sauron family was caused by Zaratul and Roselle. Okay, so they confirmed it was Zaratul and Roselle. Isn't this the spirit left behind by the ancestor of the Sauron family? The disassociation of the Red Angel is worse than I imagined. No, this isn't considered a normal split personality, but 3 people being stuffed into one body? That's fucking wild, man. It's like the movie Split, bro, when he has all the personalities in him. No matter what they do, they have to first come to a unanimous decision or they will be No matter what, they have to first come to a unanimous decision or there will be internal strife. Klein believed that the Red Angel Evil Spirit wasn't setting up a trap, but he had no way of informing Zaratul of the relevant information. That is his weakness. I can use it in the future. Klein muttered silently before asking, then why did you come to me? Just say those words. The Red Angel Evil Spirit raised its hand to rub his left cheek, causing the mouth that appeared slowly to disappear. At about the same time, he smiled and said, aren't you investigating the Lowen royal family? It seemed to involve a high-ranking demoness named Katarina. If you have any tracks from her, inform me before you carry out any operation. Saintess of the White Katarina, why is the Red Angel Evil Spirit looking for her? The 100 pathway sequence 4 can cause women to become men. The sequence 7 of demoness pathway can make men into women, okay, and vice versa, okay. This should be the 2 separate Beyonder pathways that can be they're interchangeable. This should be 2 separate pathways that can be interchangeable. Okay, because you can swap both of them. The Red Angel Evil Spirit can't find a suitable hunter pathway beyond a characteristic, so it plans to... Wait, what? What? Okay, I'm a little interested. The Red Angel Evil Spirit can't find a suitable hunter pathway beyond her characteristics, so it's planned to jump to the Demon's pathway. That's right, as an evil spirit, as long as he resolves his issue of survival, he can still advance using potions and characteristics. Klein was first taken aback before he used a secret he knew out of it to come up with a guess. He suddenly had a strange idea. When there are both high sequence beyond her characteristics of the hunter and Demon's pathway within a body, with the Red Angel Evil Spirit oh yeah, wait. No, it probably display both characteristics, and then it'd be that one word, androgynomous. I'm saying it wrong, but it looked like it'd have like both characteristics. Hunter pathway and demoness pathway within a body, with the Red Angel Evil Spirit display a male form or a female form. Whoever has a higher level and is in charge decides. At that moment, the Red Angel Evil Spirit looked at Dwayne Dantes and his valet and scoffed. You have a great talent for provoking others. I haven't said anything. He just looked at him and he's like, oh, you're pretty good. I haven't said anything. Klein inwardly replied in days. The Red Angel Evil Spirit curled his lips and said, I can guess what you're thinking unless you admit that you're ignorant. However, this might be a good thing for them. For them? Intersex, you mean? No, isn't it called like when you can't tell and it's like androgynous? I think that's what it's called. However, this might be a good thing for them. Well, yes, both. Technically, yes. Yeah. Intersex, hermaphrodite, and androgynous. I cannot pronounce that word. I'm sorry. Yes, but that. I feel like it'd be like that if they're interchangeable and you have both. However, this might be a good thing for them. Shut up. A bloody mouth appeared on both sides of the Red Evil Spirit, so they... Two personalities are seeing shut up. Looking at dissociative identity disorder happening before him, Klein rationally gave up the idea of going deeper into the topic and said, it's not impossible to inform you in advance, but the problem is how should I inform you? From his point of view, the demoness unaging Katarina was a vile person. It was the same with the Red Angel Evil Spirit. It wasn't a bad thing to have them clash. The Red Angel Evil Spirit smiled and said, of course, it's by reciting my honorific name, the great God of War, the symbol of iron and blood, the ruler of chaos and strife. Pew, the mouth of both sides of the Red Angel Evil Spirit's cheeks let out a disdainful sound as though they didn't approve of it. This is the standard deity's honorific name. After gaining control of this is such a good freaking read through. After gaining control of the uniqueness to a certain extent, Medici became a quasi-god. And as long as no one can accommodate the uniqueness of the Red Priest pathway, this evil spirit level would not drop. The honorific name will always point towards him. Klein nodded thoughtfully and probed, what do you know about the secret ruins of the Blood Emperor Elisa Tudor? Oh shit, okay. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty. Upon hearing this name, the Red Angel's facial muscles twitched slightly before sneering. Are you asking what the secret of the Lowen royal family is? You might not know this, but you might be familiar with the Blood Emperor's secret ruins, Klein said deliberately. The Red Angel evil spirit suddenly laughed out loud and slapped the armrest on the reclining chair. What do you think of the honorific name for it? I like it. I just, in general, I think so far, when they said deaths, I think that was the best one. I think, wait, let me reread it right now. Once we're done the chapter, let me reread it. Let me scroll up a little bit and we'll see how it is. I'll see which one I like more. I kind of like mine a little bit more. I'm not trying to brag, but you know, his is right. Your tricks are so childish that they look like a 3-year-old. The secret hidden by the Lowen royal family is very simple. I could guess it by just reading the newspaper's tisk. You only have a smart-looking face. Your brain is filled with squirming worms. You can guess it just by reading the newspapers. Klein frowned and answered. The Red Angel evil spirit finished laughing and curled his lips. Of course, it needs some basic knowledge. I believe you should have it. How about this? I'll ask you a few questions and you'll understand how simple the answer is. Is that Blood Emperor's secret ruins that the kings buy the churches? No, Klein shook his head firmly. You should try and guess his secret? Bro. I'm too dumb to guess this now, man. It's, you know what? Love's honorific did solo it, Milosh. I'll give you that. That was a pretty badass one. No, Klein shook his head firmly. The Red Angel evil spirit smiled and continued asking, do you know which sequence of the Blood Emperor Elisa Tudor was in before he had advanced to sequence 0? The Black Emperor pathway, sequence 1, Prince of Abolition. Klein calmly replied, fuck, man. It's just crazy that he just changed to something that, like, isn't even, like, compatible. He's like, and Elisa Tudor was like, fuck it. The Red Angel evil spirit nodded slightly. Did you know that before Elisa Tudor became the Blood Emperor, he was one of the 2 consuls of the 2 consuls? So Def would have been the other Def consul of the Tudor Turnusset United Empire, and that the other ones supporting him were 6 of the 7 present deities. And that the ones supporting him were 6 of the 7 present deities, including Evernight and Storm. Klein nodded and gave an affirmative answer. The half-slumped Red Angel evil spirit crossed one leg over the other. Then do you know that after Elisa Tudor became Blood Emperor, he had truly gone mad and even died during the Battle of Gods? Yeah, the War of 4 Emperors, right? Kind of. Klein didn't dare to be too sure because this was something he had read from Rizzo's diary after the Emperor had learned it from Mr. Dor. The Red Angel evil spirit chuckled and said, then do you think that Elisa Tudor would have the rationality and opportunity to leave behind the secret ruins after he became Blood Emperor? No, Klein slowly shook his head. The Red Angel evil spirit spread its hands and said, since its ruin left behind by Elisa Tudor before he became Blood Emperor, and if the 6 deities who supported him aren't aware of it, what could it be? If you had choose, what would a path destined... If you had a choice, would you take a path destined to go mad? Is this a little on the nose? Klein better fucking say no. Klein instantly thought of the 9 mausoleums of the Black Emperor needed in the ritual needed to become a god. To a Prince of Abolition, before the return of the former Black Emperor, secretly seeking out a way to advance the Black Emperor was something he wanted to do. Is that related to the Black Emperor? Klein answered in a deep voice. The Red Angel evil spirit rubbed his chin and chuckled. You seem to know the Black Emperor's ritual. Isn't that simple? Was the King of the Lowen been doing in the past 2 to 3 years? Oh, the Great Act was abolished. Wait, I'm sorry. Is he trying to switch? Is that what we're implying? He's trying to switch to Black Emperor? Isn't that simple? What has the King of the Lowen been doing in the past 2 to 3 years? The Great Act was abolished. There's the Civil Servant Unified Examination, a restructuring of the military. Oh, and he's instilling his... Got it. And people are thinking about him. The House of Lords and Nobles are struck down a notch, strengthening the authority of the House of Commons. Isn't this something that was published in newspapers? Besides, isn't this common knowledge that the Justiciar pathway can be switched to Black Emperor pathway? Justiciar pathway can be switched to the Black Emperor pathway. As many of these things were the trends of times declined, with one of them being pushed by him, he had never considered considered them from a mysticism perspective in the past. Now that they were connected, he immediately understood. Soon he recalled something else. The last person who wanted to become Black Emperor was Rizzo. He happened to be related to Amon's brother. What? Yo, Milosh, how are you coming up with these honorific names so easily, man? The last person who wanted to become the Black Emperor was Rizzo. He happened to be related to Amon's brother. Wait, Rizzo happened to be related to Amon's brother? What the fuck is this sentence? What? Well, hold up. Overall thoughts before we continue. Timestamp, so I don't forget. Please, help me understand this. I don't understand what this last line means. What is this referencing? The last person who wanted to become Black Emperor was Rizzo. We know that. That's been established. And then it says this right away. He happened to be related to Amon's brother. So if he happened to be related to Amon's brother, he happened to be related. But no, like, I know he was in the Twilight Hermit Order. Yes. Like, Roselle was in the Twilight Hermit Order. So why the... He's related? Read my message, Smokey. Not blood related. The Secret Gathering, not blood related. Okay, he just... Okay. I was like, what the fuck is this random ass reveal? Like, he's... So I was like, wait, if Roselle is related to Amon's brother, that means Roselle was related to the ancient sun god. I'm like, wait, okay. No, they're just referencing like, oh, he was related as in he was a part of the Twilight Hermit Order. Okay. Got it. Oh, related isn't always blood. Okay, I know. I was tweaking out over here. It's like, I didn't forget this, right? Like, this is new info. What the fuck? Like, that was such a random ass reveal. Okay, all right. He meant related as in they were a part. I feel like I should have said he was a part of Amon's brother's faction or something like that. Okay, that makes more sense. He happened to be related to Amon's brother. I was freaking out for a sec. Yes, let's look at artwork before we resume. One sec. By the way, oh wait, let me do this here. By the way, I actually can't fucking believe we went to war. We actually went to war. I really did not think that was gonna happen, dude. I'm actually kind of in shock. Oh, we have new custom themes. Look at that. I actually can't believe that, dude. Oh, this one can work. This is just crazy. Wow, look at this Medici art. This is crazy, dude. Check this shit out, man. I don't need the custom themes. We can close the custom themes. Look at this, dude. Wait, wrong one. Wait, I don't have chat on screen. Bear with me. I don't have chat on screen. This is crazy, dude. What a wild ass thumbnail. That's crazy. This guy, whoever this person drew this, you are one talented ass individual. Wow, man. This is crazy. Wait, is there Trissy artwork? I don't know if the other Trissy stuff is kind of spicy. We can't see. I don't know if the other stuff is a little bit spicy. I know I forgot to raise the transparency thing. One sec. We'll leave it like that. Can I look at the other ones? Okay, that's safe. This Trissy one is safe. That's safe. That's safe to look at. My Queen Force. This is a pretty good one. I like this one. I like this one. Wait, wrong one. I like this one. This is a pretty good one. This is a pretty cool one. I'm sorry, 4 smokes? I don't remember that. Really? Not spicy? Oh yeah, it's not spicy. Okay, it's not spicy. Damn, man. I'm excited to go through all the artwork. We're gonna have to have like a 5-hour artwork stream, bro, when we're done. This part was pretty good in the Dunkwa. By the way, man, episode 12 is gonna go up tonight. It's going up tonight. Dude, it's like, I don't know why we're beating around the bush, man. Like, Trissy gotta join the Terror Club ASAP. Like, she gotta join now. Like, there's no shot she doesn't join. Like, she need to join now. I'm scared, man. I'm scared to read. I don't know what's gonna be our thumbnail. I think we can just take the characters right here with Medici, and then we like put like airships in the background. Because that whole airship scene reminded me of that one part in Attack on Titan, bro. When y'all come in, white chat is disabled the screen. I forgot to enable it. I always have to enable chat for all of them. Point is, that was a crazy ass read through, bro. All right, short thoughts. I can't believe we're going to war. It's gonna be so badass seeing Beyonders get involved in this fucking chaotic Beyonder battle. Oh, it's gonna be so badass. There's gonna be parts where like Klein has to go in. He's gonna have to take out like random human like basic units, platoon units that like don't even have beyond powers, but like he has to do it for the greater good, right? Like if I see a child with a gun aiming something, oh wait, hold on, I should be careful with my words. Aiming something at aiming something at any Terror Club member. If I see anything that puts Benson and Melissa in danger, I will do anything to protect them. You mark my words. I will do whatever it takes to protect these people. Well, hopefully nothing crazy has to happen in this war. Don't worry, we're gonna be reading for a lot tomorrow. Love clip? There was a clip? Clip it? Oh, clip it. If it's between the Moretti siblings or a fucking face sick Intis baby, you bet I'm gonna pick Benson and Melissa. If I gotta save a child, a newborn baby, or Benson and Melissa, you best believe I'm gonna pick Benson and Melissa over that baby. Holy shit. If we got a school bus... If we got a school bus filled with the enemies... Oh shit, with the enemies' families, you best believe I'm gonna pick the two Moretti siblings over a school bus filled with the enemy's family. Oh shit, I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna shut up before that gets a little controversial. You best believe I'll do anything for Benson and Melissa. Oh shit, I'm getting lightheaded. That was funny. I'm making myself laugh over here. I mean, 2 lives are worth more. No. I mean, 2 Moretti lives are more worth than 1 school bus filled with the enemy's family. Yeah, we gotta end stream. I gotta be out and like, I should have been out like 5 minutes ago. We're leaving a digital footprint. Don't tell no one I said that. All right, I won't let you guys go. We'll be back tomorrow for a lot more than just 5 chapters. Don't worry, we're gonna be aiming for 20 chapters tomorrow. I got you guys. Tomorrow we'll be aiming for like 15 to 20 chapters. Tomorrow should be a big stream. I'm gonna let you go. You guys have a beautiful, amazing day. Stay tuned. Well, don't stay tuned. Don't worry. It's gonna be a few hours from now. Keep a lookout for the next 6.5 hours. We should have the episode 12 react. I am excited, man, to watch episode 13 next week. I am so excited to finish the series. That being said, peace. Have an amazing day, and thank you guys for joining to the 10. I think we went from like 8 to 15 people today. Thank you guys for joining. I know, clipped, sniped, and shipped. Clipped it. I know I didn't put an advance warning. I literally just set the stream up like 15-20 minutes before I went live. But other than that, thank you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, peace. Have an amazing day, and we might have a slight unannounced stream if I come back early. All right, later, guys.